Look at this nice house. They've broken ground. Look at that. They've broken ground. Over there, I think they're gonna build there next year. So probably next year they'll break ground over there. But over here, they've already broken ground. Well guys, welcome back to Mad English TV, where I teach you new English words and phrases and tips and everything. You get the full meal deal here at Mad English TV. The full meal deal means everything. You get the whole package here at Mad English TV, and you get a nice sunset, and you get the moon. So you got the moon and the sun at the same time. Isn't that amazing? So guys, they're going to break ground over here. I'll just show you over the fence. I think next year they're going to break ground there, but they've already broken ground over here. So do you know what that means? Well, that has a few meanings, to break ground. Okay, it's a construction term. It means to start building. Okay, I mean, it makes sense, right? You break the ground. I mean, look at this. That ground has been broken, right? The ground over there hasn't been broken, but the ground here has been broken. Okay, so if you know, if you're gonna buy a house and the builder uses the term break ground, that means they've started building. Or maybe the builder would say, we haven't broken ground yet. That means nothing has happened yet, right? I mean, to start building a house, you've got to break ground. You got to put in the pipes, you got to put in the electricity or the foundation, right? I don't know anything about building. I'm not a builder, but I've heard that term, right? They use it. To break ground means to start building a house. Now, we also use that term in other ways. You know, you can break ground on, let's say, a project. It's hard to breathe in the cold weather. I gotta take some deep breaths to stay alive, guys. This is cold out here. It's actually not too bad. It's maybe -5, -10. All right, so if you're gonna start a project, like let's say a project for school or something, you know, you could say, I haven't broken ground yet, or I think next week I'll break ground on my project. Maybe you've been procrastinating. If you're a university student, I know what that's like. If you have to write an essay or you have to do some project, you know, you just keep putting it off. And then like it comes down to the wire. Like if something comes down to the wire, it means it gets close to the deadline, right? Maybe your paper is due in 2 days and you haven't even started yet. So you have to break ground. At some point you're gonna have to break ground. That's the first step of the project. Well, the first step of building a house is you have to break ground, right? Things like here in Canada, things go in the ground. So electricity, for example, you don't see any power lines around here, eh? Right? You don't see any water tanks above. Everything comes in through the ground. Electricity, internet, water, sewage, everything is underground here in Canada. So I mean, that's kind of interesting, right? In some other countries, you know, you go and you see everything's above ground. The electricity is above ground. The water is like comes from some water tank above ground. Look at that crow. Photo bombing my video. Video bombing my video. So guys, that's what it means to break ground. Now, we also have a similar word, which is groundbreaking. Oh, before I talk about groundbreaking, there's another term is to break new ground. If you break new ground, that means you start something new, right? So maybe you could say, I'm gonna break new ground on, I don't know, can't think of an example now. Just anything. It means you start something new. So if you start something new in your life, you can say, I'm breaking new ground. It means kind of like to do something new. like maybe that you've never done before, right? So that leads me to the term groundbreaking. The term groundbreaking means something new and something kind of big, right? Like we use that word when we're talking about discoveries, like a groundbreaking discovery. That means something amazing, like something that is like new, that's like gonna change your life, gonna change society. All right, so can you think of any groundbreaking discoveries or any like groundbreaking inventions in the past in the past few hundred years? I mean, what has been invented that changes society, that changes your life? What has been a groundbreaking thing? Like electricity, right? That was a groundbreaking invention. Who invented electricity? Isn't that amazing? I mean, let's say you were to buy a house like that. There would be lights in your house. You could just turn on the light and you would have light. Imagine what people did like 100 years ago when they didn't have light. When was light invented? When were light bulbs invented? So maybe 100 years, 200 years ago, something like that, right? Like 200 years ago, what did people do when the sun set? I mean, like you can see the sun right there, right? It's the sun is setting, and here in Canada, in the winter, the sun sets really early. I mean, right now, let me just look up the time right now. It's 4, guys. It's just after 4. It's a few minutes after 4 o'clock. And you can see how low the sun is. So the sun's going to set in a few minutes. And by 5 o'clock, it's going to be dark. Well, what would you do if you didn't have electricity when it gets dark? And what would you do in your house? Like, how would you see anything? You wouldn't be able to see anything. You can't just turn on a light and do some reading. Or you can't pull out your phone and check your phone, turn on the flashlight on your phone. You wouldn't have a phone. You wouldn't have electricity, or you'd have nothing. So what did people do, like back in the olden days? Have you ever thought about that? The life must have been completely different. You'd have to go to bed when the sun sets. So in this case, you'd be going to bed at like 5 o'clock p.m. and you'd wake up at like 9 a.m. right? Because here in the winter, the sun sets at 5 p.m. and it rises at like 9 p.m. That'd be a long sleep. That'd be like 16-hour sleep. Can you imagine sleeping for 16 hours? Oh man, that would be nice. That would be a great sleep. 16-hour nap. Man, that would be awesome. 16 hours. But on the flip side, in the summer, you would only have about, you'd only have about, well, in the summer, the sun sets at like about 11 o'clock p.m. It gets dark, and then it gets light around 5-6 a.m. So you'd have a good 6-7 hours in there where you could sleep. But the thing is, in the light, anybody can choose to sleep in the light if they want, right? But in the night, if it's dark, you can't choose to stay awake. You can't choose to do stuff. I mean, you could choose to stay awake, but what would you do if you didn't have electricity? Let me know down in the comments. What would you do if you didn't have electricity at night? Like, how would you even use the bathroom? Would you light a candle? Every time you want to go pee in the night, you gotta wake up. How would you see where you're even going to the bathroom? You have to light a candle. You have to take the candle to the bathroom, go pee, go back to bed, carry the candle back to bed without burning the house down, and blow out the candle and fall asleep again, right? Isn't that crazy? Like, these modern inventions, discoveries, they're groundbreaking discoveries. I mean, this is completely life-changing stuff, right? Electricity was a groundbreaking discovery. So that's what that word means. It's groundbreaking. So what has something been in your life that's groundbreaking? Maybe you realize something, you learned something, and it's just been groundbreaking. Like another word is earth-shattering, right? An earth-shattering discovery. Well, if you think about those two words, groundbreaking, earth-shattering, they mean the same. It's exactly, they're two synonyms of like this is synonym of each word, right? So ground, this is ground, right? Another word for ground is earth, right? So there's a pile of earth right there. See, that's some ground, but it's like dirt, right? Or you could say that's a pile of earth. There's a little mound of earth. Another word for a small hill is a mound. So there's a mound of earth right there. So if we break the earth, another word for break is shatter. Okay, so earth shattering, ground breaking. You can say either one. Now you can't switch the words. You can't say ground shattering or earth breaking. You can't do it. You have to either say earth shattering or ground breaking. Guys, look, there's a plane that flew over there, leaving behind all those chemtrails. Do you believe in chemtrails? Some people believe that in jet fuel, when planes fly, the government puts some like chemicals in there to like kill humanity, kill off everybody. Hopefully I won't die, guys, from those chemtrails. But anyway, guys, look at these nice houses here. Maybe you would like to buy a house. Now, these houses are called town homes or town houses. You can see it's kind of a row, right? So you don't own the whole thing, you own a little piece. So you can see where each piece is, right? So these are called town homes, and this is going to be a town house here. I mean, if this was all one big house here, that would be huge. So it's not going to be one house. It's going to be a town house, town homes, like a row of houses. So guys, give me your examples of groundbreaking things that have happened in your life, or what's something that's like been new ground, what is gonna, or what are you hoping to break new ground in 2023? So it's just the start of the year here, 2023. Happy New Year, guys. What are your plans for the year? Are you going to break some new ground? Which area are you going to break ground in this year? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be interested to know. So guys, anytime you start something, you have to break ground. And if it's something new, you break new ground. And if it's something really big, you can say it's a groundbreaking thing. Groundbreaking or earth shattering. Well guys, there's your advanced English tip for today. Probably a lot of people, you know, English learners never use these words. I rarely hear, you know, like for example, an English learner to know this, like the company might say like, we're going to break ground next year. Like if you want to buy one of those like townhomes, because this is a whole big development here. They're going to build over there too. It's just a period of time, right? They build one building. See, those ones over there, they finished already. They're selling those. Now they might be already selling these like a pre-sale. Usually if you want to buy a townhouse, like new townhomes like this in Canada, you can buy them at about, well, maybe you can even buy them before the ground breaks, before they break ground. That's very possible too. So you might be able to buy a house like before it even starts. You might be able to buy a house like maybe 6 months before it's done, or maybe even a year before it's done, right? So I don't know, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to buy these already. It's probably people have already bought these. Now the possession, when is it going to be finished? These will probably be finished maybe in the summer. They might be like 4 or 5 months out yet. I'm not sure. Maybe these ones will be done end of the year. Maybe before Christmas you'll be able to move into these guys here. Depends on how fast they work. It probably depends on a lot of different variables, right? If the weather's good, if they're selling these ones really quickly, they might work extra hard to sell these ones. So that's kind of how it works. If you want a new house in Canada, you have to buy it before it's built, you know, because otherwise people are going to buy it and then you're going to be buying it from them. So it's going to be a secondhand home, you know, because if we walk over here, you'll be able to see vehicles in these driveways already. So that means people have already bought these vehicles. People have already bought these homes here. Let's just walk over here. This thing's called a dumpster. Look at this big dumpster. Isn't that nice? Put all their garbage in there. And there's a outhouse, a little portable bathroom, portapotty, or an outhouse, we would call it. So some little tips, more vocabulary for you as you start the year. So guys, you can see these are pretty much done. The framing is all done. Everything's done. They just got to put the siding on and put the garage doors on, right? So yeah, you can see these vehicles over here. They are parked there because people already own these homes. So look at these guys, they're done. That'd be nice homes. That would be a nice place to live. Would you like to live here? That'd be a very nice place to live. Right, so these are done and people live here. So they probably built these, they finished them probably a few months ago. So people are buying these, you know, those aren't finished yet. And so this is going to be a huge development here. So it maybe takes several years to really kind of fill out one of these. Typically these kinds of places in Canada, it might take 2 or 3 years, maybe even more, maybe 4 or 5 years to really finish it all out. All right, to build everything, to sell everything. So anyway, there's your tips, English and about buying a home here in Canada. I hope you guys can come to Canada. And actually I just posted something on my Instagram about Calgary being the #1 city in North America to live. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go search for madenglishtv on Instagram and you will see I posted. It's I think The Economist, anyway, someone rated Calgary as the #1 city in North America. Isn't that exciting? So welcome to Calgary, guys. If you want a nice place to live, I mean, just look at this. It's pretty nice, right? Pretty peaceful. Let's just look at the outsides of these homes here so you can see them. They're nice, right? They're very, like, some have balconies, some don't. There's some different styles, right? So yeah, guys, it's a great place to live, you know, nice, safe, peaceful place. Nice BMW there. Someone's rich, lives here. Maybe I can own a BMW one day. That'd be nice. So guys, you got some single family homes there, I think, or maybe some duplexes. I'm not sure what style of house that is. And then you've got townhomes here. Probably have a condo building coming up somewhere around here. That's very often how it works, right? There's some single family homes, some like multi-family homes, which are like townhomes, condos, that kind of stuff. I don't know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? So anyway, guys, hope you learned a thing or two, and let me know what are some groundbreaking things that you would like to happen in your life. And would you like to break some new ground in 2023? That would be great. Anyway, guys, I think I'll go home, warm up my hands here because they're starting to freeze. So as always, guys, I love you so much. Stay safe, take care, and have a great day. And again, Happy New Year.